And we are back.
We are back, and I have poor posture.
You shrimp.
Ugh. Feel all my bones creaking as I do that.
I ordered a new chair that's supposed to help with the sciatic nerve.
Dope.
It was way more expensive than these things were. And I'm not excited about the money I spent, but I'm very optimistic about the chair because we spent that entire time in Tennessee and I had no pain. I mean, a little bit, right? Like it was minor. It was still like, hey, I'm still here. Don't try to karate kick that 2x4. But like I got home and it started all over again yesterday. I woke up this morning in pain and it's either the chairs or our bed. And I think it's the chairs.
I think it's both.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's both. You woke up that Friday morning in no pain. And I really do think that the bed helped.
Yeah.
It was able to relieve pressure from certain points on your body. And I think that helps with that healing process you got going on.
Gotcha. Well, so that's a plus. I am going to be looking into beds. I just got an email back from Comcast about the fiber at the house. And they said that if I sign the contract today, we will have dedicated fiber in 60 days.
No way.
That's what they said. I don't know what dedicated fiber is versus regular fiber. If somebody that is a tech nerd is in the chat, can you explain to me the difference between dedicated fiber and fiber? They said we'd have 5 IP addresses, which would be great because we could have 2 IPs for gaming, 1 for each console.
Okay.
And then 1 for streaming in the garage, and then 1 for streaming in the whiskey room, and still have a leftover for the kids.
Nice.
Yeah. There you go.
Nice.
Hopefully.
Thanks, Carrie.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the dedicated is better. Hopefully that means that if we get 200 megs up and down, we get the full 200 megs, and it's not split between the rest of the people in the neighborhood because we are paying for business class at that point. It's a little bit more expensive, but we would still end up saving about $1,800 a month.
I love that.
No, I'm sorry.
No, that's 1,900.
Yeah, $1,800 a month.
Yeah.
Jay said you go directly back to the central office with no splits. Think of it like your own fiber line versus sharing with multiple. So it's worth the price because at that point we will never have any issues with ping or drops or anything.
I love it.
So love that. Hope everybody is good. We are back from
Tennessee.
No? Arrested Development. Do you remember that song? You ever heard that song? Oh man, that's another one we have to play.
Okay.
We are doing thing. Peaches is over there looking fine as fuck in her little dress.
Thank you. I like the zippers. I like the pocket.
Just don't like it unbuttoned.
No, I can't leave that unbuttoned. But the pocket also have a zipper, so I can put things in here securely
and actually use your pockets.
Yeah, and it's a decent size. My whole hand's in there. That's unheard of for ladies' clothing.
Is it?
Yeah, I can keep your heart in there and keep it safe.
I
was like, damn, nothing?
It took me a minute. I'm like, what do you mean you can put my heart in there? I believe that my heart is already safe, that it doesn't need to go in your pocket, and that's how you get pocket lint on my heart. I believe that would lead to stroke or heart attack. Okay.
I got you.
That's funny. So we need to figure out what we're going to do about the man cave now in terms of building a podcast room and getting that situated. I'm going to sign that contract when we're done.
I love that.
So
moving all of this is going to suck.
It'll be easy.
We should hire friends.
2 months. We have 2 months.
Yeah.
And I'll get all the electronics out in one shot and then come back and get the stuff a little at a time. Moving the books and the knickknacks is going to be the hardest part. I wouldn't want anybody moving the computers.
Okay. I love using my muscles in front of you.
Yeah.
After losing my whole fingernail, though, I'm kind of scared of picking up things and manhandling stuff. So might have to dial up one of your dude friends.
I don't have any of those here. I'm moving all this shit myself.
Okay.
I have Carrie to help. So PJ's Creations said you're for real moving. We're moving from the studio to the house when we get internet at the house. So that'll be 2 or 3 months from now. We are for sure moving to Tennessee, or at least getting a second home there by the end of the year. That's the goal. The goal was to get the internet at the house first, because then we no longer have to pay for the studio, and whatever we're paying at the studio minus what we pay for the internet at the house will be able to be spent on rent at a house somewhere else. So we are definitely looking into getting a second home somewhere so that we can take full advantage of travel and doing all of that.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot that's behind the scenes that's happening that we are just waiting for things to fucking go. So.
Oh, Ellen says hello from Ireland.
Love that.
Y'all are in short sleeves and me here in a massive, cuddly, warm fleece in front of the fire. I bet that fire is fantastic.
Yeah, it's hot out here.
Probably 70 degrees right now.
It's 75 right now. Yep. Belle said, where'd it go? Jonathan can be a dude friend. He's a dude. Your man is really hard to read, Belle. I wasn't sure if he was enjoying us hanging out or not. Like, he's very hard to read. Hector asked if we stream on Twitch. We play video games on Twitch from time to time. We played some Call of Duty on it last week.
Played some Call of Duty yesterday, and I'm getting good.
Yeah, you definitely were shitting on me yesterday. I don't know what was happening. I was getting my shit pushed in all fucking day.
I felt so bad yesterday.
Why?
There was one specific kill I was like, oh, he's upset. I was army crawling on the ground because Chris, we were in the house with the mansion, and like there's that
Skyline.
fireplace. No, not Skyline. The other one. Whereas like there's a property and an outside garden area.
Oh, hideout.
Yes.
Whatever, yeah.
And when we would spawn in and you guys spawned in on the other side, he would right there behind the couches. And he killed me twice in the same spot. I'm like, I'm gonna get this fucker. So I got down on the ground and I was army crawling. And I was doing the thing and I had my gun ready. And I was like, I'm gonna get him. I was gonna brat. And then you came around the corner.
And you laid waste to me.
I got you. And I knew you couldn't see me because I was on the ground doing my thing. And I was like, oh yeah, that one just.
Yeah. The people that lay on the ground and don't move in the game frustrate the shit out of me.
I was moving.
Slowly.
Right. Because I was trying to be tactical.
Right.
To murk somebody else.
It's part of the game. It's part of the game. I understand it. It's infuriating to me because I run and gun.
Yeah.
To me, it's all about taking control of the center of the board. It's like playing chess. Whoever holds the center of the board usually wins the game.
Right.
And if I can hold the center of the map and make sure that nothing's going wrong, I can normally dominate the map, but I have to get there first. And if somebody's camping or waiting, laying down, and they know that I'm coming, it just search and destroy. You get one life.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of me sitting there playing on my phone while everybody's playing. Or I did get to edit photos while playing video games yesterday, so that was cool. But
you and I play very differently.
We do.
I take command of the outside.
Right.
I can run into people and do the thing.
Yeah.
The inside's very overwhelming for me. It's always
I just want to.
overpopulated.
I want to get past the middle point of the board as quickly as I can.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, I'm not a very good video gamer. I just whatever. But Bandit Gaming sends a snooper chat. Said love Tennessee. Thank you again.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. I just signed your other book, and it's going out. Carrie's going to take it to the post office today.
Actually, getting the signed copy.
You will actually
Yeah.
Well, you'll get what you paid for because I fucking sent 6 unsigned copies yesterday because they were not communicated that they weren't signed yet. And Carrie packaged them. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. And I was like laying in bed last night. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I didn't sign any of those.
I was getting ready to floss your butt cheek.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds really gross.
I know. I just realized.
That sounded
it's a
really
sciatic
gross.
nerve. I take my elbow and I hurt my. Oh God, I can't. I mean, it's a leg muscular thing.
We need to make a video about that.
Yes.
Because everyone that's in our Discord that's talked about having sciatic nerve issues, out of everything we've done, that's the only thing that's actually helping my sciatic nerve. We got a couple things real quick I want to touch on. Somebody said, y'all have done so much for me to understand my trauma responses and how to correct them. Thank you. That was from Cody on Facebook.
Get it, Cody.
We made a decision yesterday that we are going to start doing book breakdowns in Discord that are audiobooks so that we can react to them and not violate copyright, so that we can play a chapter or a paragraph, pause and discuss and have a discussion about it that already falls under fair use because we are reviewing.
Right.
And we can do that. We don't have to deal with the bullshit copyright strikes on Facebook or YouTube if we do that. So if you guys are not a part of our Discord, our Patreon, I highly recommend that you get in on that. Because starting on I think we'll probably do the first one as an After Dark to see how it goes.
Okay.
Or just like as a bonus cast to see how it goes. But I am 3 chapters into that attachment style, and there's already things that I want to talk about.
Oh, I haven't gotten that one yet.
That
I need to download that again.
That entire thing stems from the first year of life, and I had no idea that your attachment styles start that early.
Okay.
I know that it comes from trauma But the anxious, avoidant, detached, all of that comes from the first year of your life and then just builds on after that. I would like to do like a full on, it's a 3-hour audiobook. So if we do it at like 1.5 speed, we could do it in 2 hours. And then just, it'll be a much longer episode. It might have to be 2 parts, but I would like to start doing that. We talked about that on the ride home yesterday.
What's the name of the book?
Good question. I don't remember these things after I buy them. Master Your Attachment Style by Scott A. Young. Donald said, "You two have been incremental in my relationship. Thank you for every feeling you discussed for us and all the help that you offer to every person you've reached." That was the other one that I wanted to touch on because we had, I believe we're going to have 2 more cancellations for Costa Rica on the first trip due to time constraints with children. So we will be in Costa Rica from May 20th to the 31st. Roughly 2 weeks, a little less than that, but that's our time frame. I think we actually have to fly out on the 18th because we have to get there early.
Right.
Our first Costa Rica trip has a night tour, jungle meditation, like a whole bunch of cool shit happening, plus 2 seminars.
Yes.
Second trip has a coffee plantation thing, a big ass resort, and seminars and other things that are happening there as well. If you guys want to go to Costa Rica with us, those trips are available on Trova Trip. They are no longer able to be made payments. You would have to pay for your trip in full, or you would have to use a firm to like finance your trip if you want to do that. But the trips are still available until the 31st of March. I believe after the 31st, it's cut off. You can't book anymore after that. So if you guys still want to go to Costa Rica, there is time. There are 2 or 3 slots available on the first trip, and I believe 8 available on the second. So Chloe Hill for $10 said, "I finished reading Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Finally understand why my brain is the way it is. My communication with my boyfriend has never been better. Thank you so much, guys."
Love that.
Love that too. Can't wait to get my signed copy. Scrolling. Something about butt floss. You floss his what?
A booty cheek.
Yep, my booty cheek. So what was the thing that we did? It's sacrum goes on the palm, right? Or do you put it here?
I put it here. I also have tiny hands. So the base of my hands goes to the base of his sacrum, and then 2 knuckles. So I go with my middle finger, and then I go over about like, I don't know.
Right in the middle of the butt cheek.
Right in the middle. Put my place marker, elbow, and then like slot machines.
Yeah. So when she gets her elbow into my butt cheek, your muscle fibers in your glute go like this, right? Like if you were looking at a naked body with no skin, the muscles in the glutes taper like a V.
Yeah.
If you put your elbow in that muscle fiber along that line and then lift the leg at the knee of the affected side and then move it left to right.
Like a right angle.
Yeah.
Put the leg up to a right angle and then back and forth.
Yeah. Think of a kid watching TV.
Yeah.
With, like laying on their belly. The leg's going that way. So with that elbow in there, as you do that, it creates tension and separates the muscle fibers and flosses that nerve tendon. While it's happening, whoever's laying on their stomach, getting their ass flossed, getting their sciatic nerve taken care of, you can have the person move the elbow left or right on the glute so that it can hit the affected area. That has done more for me than decompression work. That has done more for me than acupuncture, more for me than deep tissue massage, because it's not just, pressure point or active release. You are working where the affected area is. And if you can do that 2 or 3 times a day with your partner, like doing the work, that is a whole lot better than all the shit that we've been doing.
Yep. And it takes a lot of pressure. So I'm a big lady. I'm an Amazonian. Why'd you make that
You
face?
ain't that big.
I'm almost 6 foot. Like I'm taller than you in heels.
Well, yeah, you're wearing 3-inch heels. Of course you're gonna be taller than me.
Right. So I'm
But they don't mean nothing. I'm a big lady.
Right.
I'll Captain Caveman you.
Do you take that as a challenge?
A little bit. Yeah, I kind of took it a little
tell.
personal. You're not a big lady.
Okay. Well, in the grand scheme of the population,
I can throw you over my shoulder and run.
I know.
You're not that big.
I
don't like the phrasing. I don't like the way you're talking about my wife.
You want to schedule something like that later?
I think you need to rephrase your statement.
I am not tiny.
I'll let that go.
I am. I don't know. I'm like the She-Hulk. I'm not muscular, but I tower over a lot of people, and I don't know how else to. I'm trying to.
Okay, so what was the point of all of
So
that?
the point of all of that is when I go to floss and apply pressure to that sciatic area, we got a stance to it. So my feet aren't together. I have my left leg behind me to apply pressure, and I have my one in front of me to keep balance. And all of my weight is right here in my little tiny elbow.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use my head and really just like hunchback and Notre Dame it.
Well, the reason that you have to do that so hard is because you're working the piriformis underneath of the glute, and you have to get through that deep ass muscle to get into a little tiny muscle to work it. So there is movement that has to be done. And that general guide of where you need to go on the glute is pretty accurate because that's how we were able to find my problems. So.
Yeah.
David said, Chris, I'm loving your book. I had to stop and go back to rewatch The Gentleman again. There has been a lot of information and it's been making me think a lot and do the work. Thank you both. Thank you to you both. You're
Love
welcome.
it.
Thanks for buying the book. Love that you guys are finding value in that shit. You want to talk about doing something that puts you out of your comfort zone?
Ooh.
Bell said, did our passports this morning, ready to go to Costa Rica 2.0.
Love it.
I hope that you expedited your passports. Can't wait to see everybody out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. We will also be announcing our giveaway to the person who's going to Costa Rica with us in our Discord today. Scrolling. Excuse me. Brooke became a member for 4 months on Facebook or YouTube. Early access is taller than the average woman. Jenny said, Greek goddess stature.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
Love that. I've missed so much. Y'all came out with a book. Yeah, Brooke, I wrote a book. It's called No One's Coming to Save You. It's on Amazon. You just search Christopher Burkett, No One's Coming to Save You. It's got a picture of me on the title or the cover. How many entries did y'all have? I have no idea. We're hands off on that. Zach and Jenny are handling that whole thing. For the sake of fairness, it's way easier for them to deal. I mean, they deal with our Discord. Let's just be honest. It's a laziness thing. They have all of that shit well under control.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
There is zero desire for me to want to be in control of the Discord.
Yeah.
It used to be my job. And then we got like 500 people in it, and that is too much for me.
Yep.
I'm also not tech savvy, and I didn't recognize how much of that went into the Discord.
Zach said 57 people said they could go.
Oh, wow.
Love that. I adore Peach's handprint and footprint tattoos.
Thank you.
My husband stole my copy and I can't find it. That's rough. Going to order the book this week. If there are signed copies left, I'll be doing that. I think there might be 1 or 2 left on the website. I don't know if Chris Chaotic's in the chat, but he would be the one to know that because he built the website. Okay, here's a long one.
Okay.
From Rosalinda on Facebook. The both of you are absolutely amazing people. Thank you for being so real and extremely open. I've had a tough year and started a relationship while going through it. It's been so hard for not just me, but him also. Your videos have helped with my own trauma, not only from childhood, but in the past relationships and with all that's going on now. Breast cancer has nothing on me, but the trauma from it has been insane. I am currently learning how to love myself in my new old body. And while trying to make up for some trauma, I caused the hysterectomy and chemical imbalance. Life has been crazy, and because of y'all, I've learned a few tricks to help with expressing myself instead of going nuts. I've done things that y'all have said, helped, and they do. You two are a blessing. Thank you so much. This is so, guys, we're nothing special. We are 2 people who read a lot of fucking books.
And have a desire to be better than we were yesterday.
Right. And we try shit, and sometimes that shit doesn't work. And sometimes it really works. And then we make notes about it and we talk about it on the podcast. It's not like we're developing any of the shit. The check-ins are ours. And the courting questionnaires is ours. But the rest of the shit is just things that we've learned to like, hey, try this. It worked for me. Just like the sciatic thing. It's fucking working. Iggy said, just wanted to say hi and remind y'all how grateful I am for everything you two and this community do. I'm so happy to be here with y'all.
Thank you for that.
Super chats on YouTube are guaranteed to be read, guys. Tim and Miranda said, Chris, I recently watched the episode where you talked about your past. First, good job. Proud of you. And you're not a good man. You're a virtuous man. That's even better. Keep up the good work, bro. I appreciate that. Rachel for $11 said, hello, what episode did you open your bees wraps? I'm so sad I missed it. Also, will you ever do a meet and greet in New England? You guys would love the White Mountains in New Hampshire. Have a good day to you both. I have no idea where we opened that. It might have been a live stream. Idea. Don't know.
No clue. I'm so sorry.
We record 3 to 6 episodes a week on the course of 2 days, plus all of our bonus content. So asking us that question, no idea.
No clue, yeah.
As for the New England thing, yes. Where do you want to meet and greet for the rest of the year? If we were to do three more for the rest of the year, if we did one each quarter, where would the next one want to be?
The West Coast.
Specifically where?
Colorado.
That's not West.
Or Utah.
Okay, so that's Utah's mine, so we can definitely do Utah.
Okay.
That's one. Where else?
We should do like a Midwest.
Okay. So we'll have to come back to that one because that way you'd have to really plan that one because there's not a whole lot in the Midwest. That's why they call them flyover states.
Yeah.
I would like to do the Pacific Northwest at some point because I would like to see the big redwood forests and those giant ass trees. I think that you would have a blast out there.
Oh my God, could you imagine? I'm gonna be a fairy.
Yeah, running around doing a meet and greet wearing wings. And then maybe something in the northeast. I don't know, but I'm thinking maybe more like Texas or somewhere, that's not super, super far.
If we go to Texas, I'm getting a cowboy hat.
Okay. We could fly from Florida to Maine for $130.
I would love to go to Maine.
But we'd have to rent a car and do the Airbnb. I'm not flying. That's way too long. Or I'm not driving. That's way too long to drive. But if we did a New England area, I would want to go way up there. I'm not trying to be I want up there. So definitely think that we should do at least 3 of them this year.
So
3 more.
The almost 340 people watching, pretend that you're not witnessing this conversation with my husband right now. New England's not England?
No. I can't believe you just said that on the podcast. New England is like New Hampshire, Massachusetts,
Why?
that area, Delaware.
Why?
Because that's where the colonies were that came from England. They call it New England.
I had no idea.
That's because you went to school in a public school system.
Okay, now let's pick it back up. Thank you guys for being quiet.
Sabrina said, we can't wait to see you guys again eventually. We love you guys and are so thankful for you both. We actually need to do 2 more and then the mod meet and greet at the end of the year.
Yes.
So 2 more meet and greets this year.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the mod meet and greet. Where do we want to do the mod meet and greet?
I don't know. We're going to have to find a big ass cabin because there's going to be a lot of people there coming to actually stay with us.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing that we're going to have to discuss off the podcast. Jay said that he'd come to Utah and the Redwoods.
Oh, word.
I love that. Anytime we get to hang out with you and Krista is a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also have to make sure that we have time or space for Zach and Jenny. Canada will be a thing, but I don't know if it'll be for a meet and greet. Canada will be because I want to go take pictures in Banff. I really do want to do Banff National Park. I would also like to go back to Montana and do Glacier again. We're in Florida. We're in Southwest Florida. I would be okay with doing like a van tour.
That'd be dope.
We rent an RV and just hit the states. Be like, all right, guys, we're gonna be in Alabama on Tuesday, whatever.
That'd be a very easy thing to do during the summer.
Absolutely would. Yes, it would.
Do I'd be down to do a month on, a month off. Could you imagine getting the kids for a month and doing dope traveling things?
Would you want to take them on meet and greets like that?
No, I'm meaning separate from that.
Yeah.
The month that we have them, we do dope educational traveling things, and then the month that they get to spend with the other parental units, bring in my boxed wine.
Sierra said, hear me out, hiking trip in Red River Gorge, Kentucky. I want to do the Bourbon Trail in Kentucky. So Kentucky's on the list. It's just a matter of whenever we can to do that. We also have people that want us to do a wedding officiating. Oh, we were supposed to get back to Chris on that. I told him I'd get back to him and I never did. We have to figure out what we're doing in November about Texas. I think it's Texas, Missouri. I have to text Chris back.
Okay.
Somebody said you can do the podcast while traveling. You absolutely can, because I bought a Starlink Mini. And if we take the Broncos and just drive separate and like pull over and have lunches and do the thing in the Broncos, do overlanding without really overlanding.
I mean, I'm down.
We could very much just fucking use the Starlink and we can record in Walmart parking lots if we wanted to. It wouldn't be a big deal.
Oh, that means I'd have to pay attention though. I like not driving myself.
I can put a roof rack on the van and mount that
Yeah.
Starlink Mini to the van. That's just a trip to Charles. He has to put the seat swivel on the driver's side anyways. That's an easy thing. That's easy. It's just, those vans are the roof racks for my van with the ladders, probably going to be close to $3,000 because it's a big ass roof rack.
Yeah.
It's a 25-foot van, a lot of steel.
Right.
RGS Rose said, Northern Michigan in the summer is beautiful. Photography is great at the lakes and the dunes. Vibe said that if you have the iPhones, the new iOS also has Starlink connected to your Starlink system. Yes, they do.
Insane.
What is Starlink? Starlink is a satellite internet that is mobile. That's how we get internet during hurricanes. Iggy said y'all were talking about officiating and then said Chris and my heart stopped. Wrong, Chris, Iggy.
Could you imagine?
I would not drop that news. That's not my place. That is absolutely your old man's place if you guys are getting married. I don't know anything about y'all's relationship.
I would
like
have thrown
that.
this roll of toilet paper at you.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Oh my goodness.
German Aguirre said, hey, Chris and Peaches, just did our weekly check-in yesterday. Thank you. It's really helped our relationship and communication keep kicking on the podcast.
I love that.
How are you guys liking the new setup? You mean like the podcast? This is amazing. Let's show you guys. We have my area, which allows me to decorate the back. I have more Funko Pops coming. I bought the new Willy Wonka set.
That's my husband and I in the back corner.
Yep. Mr. and Mrs.
I'm really proud of
Burkett
that one.
right there. And then we have Hotness over there
Yep.
with her little pink light and all the things that she's got going. I like the new setup. This feels, it's a lot easier because you're right there. I'm not sitting at a weird angle where the cameras aren't at us. And if I want to make a point, I just have to go like this and talk and then pop my eyes back up. I don't have to turn my whole head to look at the TV. It's literally just eye shifts. So I could stay facing forward the whole time and do everything. So I like the new setup.
I want to redo all of this.
Why?
I think I want to get rid of the bookshelves and I want to put like dead bugs and stuff on the walls.
Well, when we get the man cave set up as a podcasting room, we can decorate it however the fuck we want. So I think that it makes sense to keep all of this the way that it is until we know what's going on and then run with it. So. Super chat from Debbie. Since watching y'all, our communication flipped 180. I fucking hope that it's in a good way.
Oh yeah, in a good way. And if it is good for you guys.
Started watching all the podcast over from episode 1, and I'm happy the podcast worked out for you guys like Chris hoped it would. Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. There was a point where this was just a hobby for us.
It was.
Yeah, just something fun to do when the kids weren't home.
Elizabeth said, I missed the whiskey collection. Well, hopefully in 60 days, the whiskey collection will be behind us again because we'll be able to record at home. We'll have a dedicated IP specifically for the whiskey room. And I will redo that room. I'll get my toolbox out of there and all that shit and set it up.
Yeah.
We have enough computers now that if we're able to play video games at the house, we can do everything. Like, it, you know what I mean? I don't have to have a dedicated gaming system.
Easy.
Right. So
I'm excited to have you on the property.
Yeah.
I hate it. Like, I don't care that you play video games. I love that you have something that's not thirst traps or drugs to keep you occupied, right? I just hate that I can't walk in and give you smooches or like cuddle up on you and distract you. It'll be quick interactions. I'll only need like 45 seconds of your attention to feel good.
Right.
I'll be able to walk out there whenever I want to.
You'll also be able to jump into the chat if you're cooking or whatever and hang out with the chat while we're doing it because the internet won't get glitchy there.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we could be in there playing Call of Duty and you could be in the kitchen cooking or doing whatever it is that you're doing, gardening with your AirPods in and talking to the people in the chat.
I can do what Zach does.
Yes.
Behind you to the left.
Yeah.
I'm not even in the game.
Yeah, I mean, therapy does the same thing. There's a lot of people that just jump in to hang out while we're playing because it's fun conversation. It's not just gaming. So,
I'm excited for that.
Jessica asked if we have a P.O. box. We do. Oh, she wants to send you a shadow box butterfly. Yes, we do. The P.O. box is
1181 South Sumter Boulevard, Northport, Florida, 34287.
and it's box 361.
Yes. Somebody will post it in the chat.
It's also on our website, tobebetter.com. Yes. So if you missed that, tobebetter.com. Oh, Nightbot got it.
Nice.
Iggy said, okay, but officiate my wedding when it happens, laughing my ass off. Is that something that you would want to do?
I would love to do that. I would love to be not the marker. I would love to be a part of the beginning of the rest of people's lives.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's a really dope thing, especially with what we do. And I like Iggy. So, like, that's a really dope thing.
Yeah, I think that, I gotta be honest, I think that if we officiate weddings, we should require a sit down with us the night before the wedding.
Okay.
Like a dinner. Where we have like, okay, what have been your biggest problems thus far in your relationship?
Yeah.
Let's discuss this before you say I do so that you guys are starting with a clean slate.
Do like a little private
coaching therapy.
session.
Coaching session. Yeah, I can't call it therapy. Coaching session.
Coaching session.
Yep.
I love the idea of that. And you don't have to pay us, but I want takeaway food.
Gotta buy the dinner.
No, not the dinner, but like after the wedding.
Oh, you want to take the food home?
I would like to take some food home.
We get a piece of that cake also?
I won't push for that. I won't push for it. But if you're cool with it,
could you imagine
cool
have a
it.
freezer with like fucking 80 pieces of cake in it with like on styrofoam plates that are markered and dated so that we know what the weddings were and whose they were? And
yes,
that would be a pretty cool thing to have.
I want to deep freeze just for that. This is now going to be a thing. Oh my goodness. It's like the wedding invitations coming to fruition. I need it.
Elena said, since watching you guys, I have become a woman my man is proud of. Thank you so much. That is a huge statement.
I love that.
Lissa on Facebook said, I started watching on YouTube and Reels on Facebook, and then we tuned into starting over right at episode 1. You have changed our lives. Thank you so much for everything you do. It's crazy that this is all happening.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that means. False memories. Adopted mama, Peach, and Pops Chris. I don't understand what the false memories are. But
I don't know what that is.
Dab Day said just followed on Twitch. That's good because we video game on Twitch from time to time. Buff Bell said, I wish Iggy was coming to Costa Rica. She almost did. It didn't work out.
Yep. Not because of anything bad, just other awesome life things were conflicting.
Jay said, you definitely should sit down, make it more personal than most officiants. My sister absolutely killed officiating ours because she knew us, and her words align perfectly with our vows. I love that. Zach said, walk-in freezer.
I'm not going to say no.
That's funny. Jenna said, watching season 1 is a mind trip.
I believe it. Watching that one episode when we exposed all, seeing myself was very surreal. Very surreal. I feel like a different person.
It's crazy how much can change in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
It's one of those things that when people start listening to the podcast and start implementing change, nothing happens overnight. Right. Everything is a slow process. And I understand that it takes time because your relationship didn't get fucked up overnight. Your relationship did not get messed up overnight. Your relationship got messed up over multitudes of things, right? You didn't just wake up one day and things weren't okay.
Mm-hmm.
They were not okay for a while and it just progressively got worse. And now you have to undo all those knots to get your string back. So it's cool to see people doing the work with us. Christina Renee said, does Costa Rica include airfare? Unfortunately, it does not because people from all over the world are flying and the airfare cannot be a consistent price.
Yeah.
So, but depending on where you're flying from, airfare is not super bad.
Mm-hmm.
We got our tickets a while ago. And our tickets were we're flying first class, but when we looked up coach, because we're flying from Florida, the tickets were less than $400 round trip.
Yeah.
Which was not bad for an international flight.
No.
So, Orion said, do it so you can marry me. You've helped so much with my growth. This would be a dream. I love y'all. Sent an email a few months ago about advice on starting a nonprofit in my daughter's memory.
Oh, I don't got much advice on that. I've never done a non-profit.
It's something that we want to do, though. It's something we've talked about.
Yeah.
Twitch link. It's To Be Better podcast on Twitch. I don't have a link for it. Kimberly Dawn sent us $2 with no text. Find Peach's favorite sticky rice, LOL.
I love sticky rice. Yep.
What is the appropriate way to invite your partner to listen to the podcast with you? You say, I found this podcast. It relates to me and blah, 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 however you relate to the podcast or why it is that you enjoy it, and say, I would like to sit down and watch an episode with you and see if you vibe with it. The worst that's going to happen is we're going to not like the show and not watch the show anymore.
Not watch it together.
Right. The amount of people that start a TV show that go 3 or 4 episodes into the TV show before they realize that they really hate the TV show and don't want to watch it. What's an hour or two? That's it. Just watch the show with me. Let's see if we like it.
Could also be one of the things where you just put it on the background.
Right.
You're cooking in the kitchen, throw it on the TV, and then there are so many women who say that their men got turned on to the podcast because
it was playing.
They wouldn't want to sit down and watch a whole episode. But when he's walking through the house and you're listening to it while you're cooking, he's like, damn, what'd they just say?
Yep.
No way that happened in the email. Get me caught up?
Yeah. It happens.
It does.
Yep. Jenna said, you look like you busted out of your original casting with a whole new skin.
Oh my goodness.
Whole lot of change.
Thank you.
Bay said, thank you for all you do. I love you guys. Samantha said, I feel like after watching you guys, I have grown so much, and I thank you both for your lovely advice and kind words. Do you feel like you have grown since starting your careers? Yeah, we actually talked about this a little bit. So for those of you who are not a member of our Patreon, this is a great time to plug that. Our Patreon community is more than just a Discord, and it's more than just content.
Yeah.
We just did a private meet and greet. We had 14 people in a cabin with us.
I've gained friends.
Friends.
From friends.
Friends.
Don't.
You know what? Hold on. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Why?
No, because I shouldn't have done that. Do you remember that article that we read? I should not have done that. I apologize. That even though that was cute and it was your peachisms, because that's a thing for you, and that's where my head went with that. You shouldn't correct your partner like that. That should have just. So I apologize. We have made friends.
Yeah.
I think that this entire thing has changed our life. So in terms of our careers, we have grown in that aspect. Our community has grown and our friendships have grown. If you guys have not checked out the Patreon, just jump on the $15 tier for a month. Give it a shot. Jump into the Discord, have a conversation with people, and see where it takes you. The friends, the community, there's a lot there. And you get a whole lot of extra content. We record all of our podcasts live for Patreon. We have Discord karaoke. We play video games with the people in our Discord if they have Call of Duty and they want to jump in. We have a gaming server there. There's homesteading information there. There's
photography chat.
Photography, everyday carry. There's a whole
cooking.
There's a lot that goes into the Patreon that you guys don't get if you're not a member. I'm working on something now to figure out how to give public access to certain parts of content that we release that won't go to YouTube or Facebook, just to add to the public aspect of Patreon. But that is the best way to ensure that we keep doing what we're doing. And it is the guaranteed way to go to meet and greets.
It is.
Because we post those there.
Yeah.
We're not going to post our meet and greets publicly. We would have to hire security because of the threats that we've received. Like, I'm not going to ever just be like, hey guys, we're in Tennessee tomorrow. Meet us at this restaurant. It might get like a 1 hour notice so that people can't plan to fucking like
travel 6 hours.
Right. They have to be close to be able to go, which will keep things small and safe. But so yes, to answer the question, it has changed a lot. It's changed the way that we deal with each other. And there was the perfect example of that. Without the podcast and the research that we've done, I wouldn't know that you have a higher likely of a separation. You are more likely to be separated if you correct your partners over things that don't matter. Like the Frems thing wasn't something that should have been corrected. That was just a peachism. And I was trying to be cute. And then it registered as soon as I did it, like, oh fuck, I'm doing exactly what we're not supposed to be doing. I would have never done that otherwise, because I would have never looked into that information.
Yeah.
And that correction is simple things. Well, 3 weeks ago, no, it was 2 weeks. Doesn't fucking matter. The story is the story. Right? So like those small corrections don't mean shit.
Mm-hmm.
It creates a divide between people because it's like somebody always has to be right. And I would have never known that. So there's a perfect example of how we've grown since creating the podcast, but there's been a lot more than that. And for those of you who are not in our Patreon, you missed out on an opportunity to go to Costa Rica because we are paying for somebody to go to Costa Rica with us for one of the trips. We're not paying for the flight, but we're paying the $2,300 for the week, which includes some of the food, all of the excursions, the seminars, and all that shit. So
the time we get to spend by the pool, very excited for that. I want to get a new swimsuit for Costa Rica.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do a 1 piece. 2 pieces are a lot for me. I need something to cover my legs, my thighs. I don't like my thighs.
Jill Scott's playing in my head right now.
Yeah?
Yep.
Which one?
I think it's Is It the Way? I can tell you the lyrics, but they're inappropriate.
Gotcha. Okay.
Peaches, if Chris told you that he walks over your boundaries because you don't follow through with consequences, would you stay and try to work through it, help him, or is it past that?
What do you mean help him? If you're not upholding your consequences, that's a you problem. So if you have shown him that there's no reason to adhere to your boundaries, why would he?
Right.
Right? And this isn't something that you need to help him with. You need to have enough self-worth to recognize, I'm not going to tolerate that behavior. So if you told him, I'm not comfortable with you hanging out one-on-one with a single female friend, if you do that, we're going to have a serious conversation and reevaluate our relationship. And then he does it, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe you've done that. Sorry, babe, it won't happen again. It's okay. I love you. And nothing happens. Like there's no serious conversation of how you feel disrespected. Or, I've already told you that this is my boundary. Now you have lost my trust. How are we going to go forward with this? Like the relationship's not the same anymore. Yeah, that's on your shoulders. I lost my train of thought because I was so focused on the words I was choosing.
Yeah. This was not poised to me, but I'm going to add a bit of thought.
Okay.
If you have made your boundaries clear to somebody, X, Y, and Z is something that I'm okay with.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, it's going to create a whole lot of problems. And then they do that. What does it say about them? Not so much about your boundaries, but what does it say about the person that you're choosing to be with? If they know that something that they could potentially do is going to create conflict in the marriage or relationship and it's going to create ugliness and they do it anyways, they're not putting the marriage first.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a bigger question. As for the boundary aspect, again, this wasn't asked towards me. If you can't hold your boundaries, it means that your self-worth is lacking.
Yeah.
And people will always walk on you. It won't just be your boyfriend. It'll be everyone that can walk over you because people will see you as a doormat.
Yeah. Yep. Something that I love saying is you're either going to stand your ground or you're going to be the ground they walk on.
Mm-hmm.
You can stay with him and start implementing the consequences for crossing your boundaries. But if he's so used to being able to do whatever he wants, that could be an issue. The relationship's going to end.
Yep.
If he's with you because he's able to do whatever he wants and then suddenly that changes, that could change what the relationship looks like. You could stay and not do anything and just continue to let him disrespect your boundaries, whatever that may look like. Or you can say, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. We can start treating each other like we're a team, a partnership, like we're actually married. Or you can just let me know that you don't care about how I feel, that this is all self-serving for you, and we can separate.
Yeah. Worst case scenario in not setting your boundaries is the relationship's going to end.
Right.
The worst case scenario in setting your boundaries is that the relationship's going to end. So if you don't adhere to your boundaries and have a healthy relationship, the relationship's going to end one day either way.
Right.
Or you're going to be fucking miserable for the rest of your life. And do you really want that? Right? Kimberly said, congrats on your new fur baby. He's so cute. I didn't say his name because he's, oh my God. He's like,
he's such a baby. Yeah.
Spoonery and Tomfoolery. I like your name, by the way. Spoonery and Tomfoolery. That's funny. Do you have yearly payment levels? We do. And you get a discount if you pay for the year in advance.
Yep.
So I think it's 10 or 15% off the entire year if you pay for the year in one shot. Courtney said, I just joined the Patreon like last week. Make sure that you're in the Discord talking to people.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia said, I'm much more of a lurker, but I enjoy it so much. Abby said, I felt so safe this weekend. You were. There was a whole lot of protection in that house.
Including me.
Yeah. There may or may not be a video of Peaches laying on the ground drinking wine from a box that's on the counter. I'm just saying. But what happens in the cabin stays in the cabin. I ousted you. When I saw that video, I was like, for the love of God, do not post that on the internet.
And then you say it.
It's not posted.
Okay. Well,
because it doesn't sound like drunk girl shit.
Right.
The photo looked like drunk girl shit, and you weren't drunk.
No, I wasn't.
It was probably one of those things that somebody was just like, hey, can you? And you're like, yeah, I can do it.
They were like, remember the photo shoot? And I was like, I remember the photo shoot. I was there. And they're like, we should do that.
Oh, okay.
So
I love that you have people in your life that is on that same level of fuck it.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
I think that you need that in your life.
Yeah, I don't care how stupid I look or if somebody thinks that it's embarrassing.
You're laughing and having fun.
I like having fun, yeah.
Yeah. Cartoon Car Club says, thank you guys for everything again.
You're welcome.
Scrolling. So much happening.
Almost 400 people watching.
Chris, have you been through EMDR? Did it actually help coping with BPD? I have not been through EMDR. I have heard that it's helped a lot of people. The things that's helped me most with my borderline is accountability and cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectic behavioral therapy. Those things have helped a lot.
Cognitive behavioral therapy was rough for me.
Yeah.
Like actually sitting down and sifting through shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Learning your triggers and how to overcome them is never an easy thing. Do you all do one-to-one talking with couples? We were going to do To Be Focused. To Be Focused has been put on the back burner.
Yes.
We don't have the time to dedicate it to the way that we want to. However, we are trying to get people to do call in with our ultimate tier so that we can do Zoom calls again, because we were doing those in the beginning, so that we can talk to people one-on-one as content for the podcast so that everybody wins and then not have to charge for it. But we have discussed potentially doing one-on-one calls again, but I don't know how it's going to work. It's a time constraint. And trying to dedicate schedules and make all that work is a logistical nightmare for us, and that's where the problem comes in. Why To Be Focused didn't get the attention that it needed. We simply don't have the time. But we have to do our live streams anyways. It's part of our work. So if we can schedule live streams to do Zoom calls with one-on-one things through our Patreon, that would be the move. That would be the way that I think does the most. I think one of the coolest things about the meet and greet was the Polaroids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and Janae introduced me to a type of like reggae music, soca or something like that.
Yeah. She told me the name of it. I was like, I don't know what that is. And I walked in. She's like, you know this, right? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And she's like, okay, then you know what it is. You just didn't know the name.
Yeah. Well, I saw her doing something with her feet. And I was like, how do you do that with your feet that you're doing? Like I stood next to her trying to do it. And she was like, I'm going to play the music. And you're going to get it, right?
And did you get it?
Well, a song came on. I was like, is this it? And she was like, no, it's the next one. And it came on and my feet just started doing the thing. And I was like, oh my God, Janae, it's happening.
That's
the
funny.
next thing she has to teach me how to do is move on my knees while squatting down. It's a whole, I don't know.
Were you dropping it like it was hot in the cabin and I missed it?
No,
Okay.
I was not.
Okay.
Janae was getting it though. I was like, dope for you. My knees and my ankles. I need a lot of support for that.
That's funny.
But I want to try it.
Yeah.
It looked cool.
Isn't that from Thailand?
Oh, Zoe. Hi, friends. Excited to hang out with y'all on my birthday today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I'm so excited I get to be here for your birthday and tell you happy birthday. That's neat. We could have just continued living life without ever meeting each other.
Yeah.
Like now I know what kind of flavor person you are and I enjoy you.
Chris for $5 super chat said, I just want to say thank you, Chris and Peaches, so much. And shout out to my beautiful woman, Kylie.
Shout out to Kylie.
Bye, Felicia said, my knees crack like a glow stick. Zach said she was indeed getting it.
Yup.
Buff Bell said you were sassy.
Me?
Yep. I'm assuming that was you.
About what?
I don't know.
May have been that May have been that blackberry wine.
There's a great soca playlist on YouTube. I love starting my day with Afro and soca music.
I'm about to.
Jenny said I had so much fun.
I'm glad.
Those meet and greets are amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So
Core memories.
We know that Thailand was life changing. We've said that I've said that a lot. I've said it a lot. I still say it. I'm not over Thailand yet.
Me either.
There's still things that happen there and like conversations that were had that I'm working through, almost like reintegration. Like there was life happening out there that like the culture's different.
Yes, the way that people interact is different.
Yeah. If we had the ability right now to up and move to Thailand, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And I would live at that resort.
Yeah.
Like we could live there for less than our mortgage.
Yeah.
And breakfast is included every day.
Yeah. The breakfast was good.
It was.
I've tried to recreate that orange juice. I've bought like 4 different types of oranges and pressed them and put them in the fridge, and I can't recreate the taste of the orange juice that they had.
I wonder if it's because our shit is so messed with.
Probably. I can taste the chemicals now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But what I was going to say is that the meet and greets are very close to that. Like the faces behind it and the conversations and the people who are coming to these meet and greets, we get to know them.
Yeah.
We have legitimately made friends with some of these people. I talk to Jay more than anybody else in my personal life right now, which doesn't say a lot because I don't talk to like him often. Like it's weekly, but we don't have like 4-hour text conversations back to back, you know. But I do talk to him. It's not been a week that's gone by where we haven't said something to each other, which is cool for me. You know, I need that. And it's not just work related, which is nice because we have conversations about other shit.
Yeah.
Brinzy said, I've been wanting to upgrade to the women's group, but not sure which one to get. What's the difference between the two?
Okay. So the Women's Thrive group is a monthly book prescription, a once a month in-depth challenge connected to the book. Every once in a while, I'll pop in and be like, all right, guys, bonus challenge. There is a once a month phone call where we talk about the book challenges, the book challenge, the book itself. And then we have an open forum where we just talk about wins, losses, achievements, anything you may need advice or perspective on. And then the group chat. The group chat where everybody's in. I don't think I'm missing anything. Group calls can be requested. I just can't guarantee I'll be able to be present on every single phone call. That's not the scheduled monthly call. And then my top tier women's group, there are 4 calls a month. There are weekly challenges. There is a monthly book prescription. There is a group chat along with a problem solving chat that's also included in the Women's Thrive group. And then the top tier has private DMing access to me. So sharing any wins, any losses, gaining perspective, needing advice. The DMing is solely focused on problem solving your guys' life. And I don't think I'm missing anything.
So 2 things. One, Sierra said the private women's group changed my life. Peach has helped me overcome so much.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm going to
my goodness.
I'm going to piggyback on that before I get to the second thing. And I want to say that is I don't think that you understand how much time and effort you put into that group.
I don't think I do because I feel like I don't do enough.
Right. Okay. So here's we've talked about this a little bit, but I want you to really understand it. My men's group gets calls when they ask for it.
Yeah.
Because I say, this is what we're doing this month. Do the time audit, do this thing, figure out your date nights. Does anybody have any questions on what you need to do? Nope. Got it. We have the mission. We're going to accomplish the mission. In the event that somebody's like, hey guys, I need a call Sunday, 1 p.m. Let's go.
Okay.
We'll do the call. That's my men's group. The chat is happening all the time so that we can help troubleshoot things throughout the day. You pig. I heard that.
I heard that too.
He's definitely my dog.
Yeah.
He just fucking straight burped on me.
He did. And he's still sleeping.
No, he's up.
No, he's up now.
Yeah, I talked to him. He's awake.
Derpy boy.
The attention that men need is different than the attention women need. If we need to problem solve, we're going to fucking do that. And if one of my guys is like, bro, I really need to talk to somebody. Yeah, give me 5 minutes. I'll jump on a call. And like, we'll have a one-on-one call if necessary. But normally it'll be like, hey guys, we're going to jump onto a call.
Yeah.
You have a lot more time with your women and you have to be emotionally invested. And like, there's a lot that goes because we're different creatures. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Yeah.
We are different creatures. Mm-hmm. And my guys don't need the attention that the women that you coach do. So like, I see you.
Thank you.
I see the work that you put into it. It's very different than what I'm doing with my group. And I mean, it shows. You got almost 100 women that you're coaching right now between both groups. So the other thing was, do we want to announce who we're bringing to Costa Rica from our thing? Because I just reused last week's settings because it's Wednesday and I didn't see that we have a surprise was written on there.
Oh.
And we talked about how we were going to take somebody to Costa Rica as like a surprise. Do we want to announce the winner? Because we did the thing.
Send it.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. I want to read the super chat and have Zach post the spinning wheel for D Willie in the chat, and then we'll give the whole congratulations.
Okay.
Although I just said his name.
You did just say his name. I was like,
Rip
what an
that.
announcement, babe.
I know, right? Fuck me. Lady Taterbug said, I wanted to say thank you to both of you for helping me realize what a bad partner I've been and how to change. I look forward to more of the Good Wives podcast.
Oh, I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you.
Sierra said, is there a lower tier men's group? There's not. We have one men's group. That's it. I don't think that there's a reason to do the lower tier for the men's group. I think that you guys can get the same kind of help from like a book club or just watching the podcast and reading the books that we recommend.
Mm-hmm.
The men's group is more for like business and marriage relationship, things like that. Like it's not as in depth as yours is. I'm going to tell you guys what you need to do and then go, do you have any questions? And if they have questions, we answer the questions and then we approach it and we try to tackle it. In the event that there's follow-up questions that need to be had, it's all happened through an app. But it's just not the same.
Yeah.
So I don't think there would be a reason for me to do a smaller chat. I mean, maybe there is. I don't fucking know. I don't know if that would be a thing. If there would be a reason for that, I could maybe do that. I don't know. So the winner of the person that's going to Costa Rica with us, his username is D Willie, I think. I should probably double check
in the
that.
Discord. Yeah.
Yeah. That way there was still a surprise announced and I'm not looking like a dumbass for what I did because I absolutely did that.
My back. Oh yeah, that was a whole thing in the cabin.
What?
Zach started playing that song, My Neck, My Back. And then the rest of it.
Right.
You guys know.
Right.
He got like 5 of us women all at once. We were all standing there in conversation, chit-chatting, and then like fucking meerkats.
That song came on, you were like...
And I started getting it. Hey!
That's funny. Emily said, do you have a book recommendation list? We do. It's on tobebetter.com. There's the check-ins, a PDF that's all of it's free. PDF, recommended book list, courting questions, and a kid check-in list that we recommend for you guys. So, Belinda said, I wanted to thank you guys for what you do. I have checked in with myself and my husband since I found you. We've been together 7 years, married for 6. We have had more ups than downs, but still growing. Love that.
I love that too. I read her name and I was like, Belinda? Linda. Yeah.
Sierra said, my husband was wanting to join for the mentorship and starting businesses and whatnot. I guess that would be more of a to be focused thing. No, he can do that in the men's group. There's not a need to join like the coaching thing. There's other business people in there. Mm-hmm. Like there are multiple entrepreneurs in my men's group. So you're not getting just my advice. If you're like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, what would you guys do? You have 6 or 7 other business owners that are like, here's the way that I would approach this situation. Mm-hmm. And we do live calls. And it's $115 a month instead of $3,000 for 3 months. Like you're going to get the same thing. The only difference is I'm not talking to you one-on-one on the phone. Danielle said, Chris, I want to thank you. I've never had an example of a good, strong, God-fearing, vulnerable, loving, forgiving, and peaceful man. I know it's taken work, but I'm so thankful for you because you proved to me that there really are strong, loving partners out there. As a mother raising young men, I would love if they grow up similar to Peach. You're my girl, straight up, grow up similar, period. She put the period in the wrong spot.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
We're so beyond similar. I am navigating through my borderline. I am such an emotional being. I'd love to have smoke sesh with you, LOL. Thank you for the kind words. I'm not going to continue reading it. It's a lot of the same thank yous and shit.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Started reading David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. Thought it fits To Be Better vibe. Then looked at the reading list. It's David Goggins is his name. That's a typo.
Oh.
And seen it on there already. Love the resources you provide. Would love to get into the men's group. Joshua, it's on Patreon. It's in the, see right there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It is on Patreon. It's the $115 tier. It's there. And when you join, make sure you connect your Patreon to the Discord so that it connects you. And then there's a WhatsApp link so you can get into our WhatsApp and you can start talking to everybody. What type of dog did you guys get? We both have German Shepherds.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys had to recommend one book for a newish beginner, a newish listener to start with, not a big reader, but big on self-growth.
The 4 Agreements.
The Courage to be Disliked. Yep. I'm going to go back through that again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Can't Hurt Me by David Goggin reminds me of you guys. Like, y'all are the David Goggins of the relationship and communication world. Maybe that will land someday. Maybe. We actually, for my book, we were wanting to do a David Goggins style reading where Zach reads the book and then we have conversations about it while it's going. That needs to be set up. That's something we actually need to get done.
Yeah.
And if not, I'm just going to read the book myself and get it up because I want to get it on Audible sooner than later. So we'll see. We will see. It is 12:30. We have been an hour into this podcast.
Okay.
You want to wrap up and then do another live reading for Patreon, or do you want to just call it a day?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I think that we should. I mean, we missed an entire week worth of work, so I think that we should do an episode. Okay. And I have a conversation. My throat thing is wrapping up. Dope. That was a Zach. Cut that. Yeah. Oh, we're not even recording right now. What the fuck am I doing? Just cut that. Cut that from what?
All over the place, babe.
I have a conversation that I want to have on the next thing that we record about single people doing work on themselves and what that looks like. And I think that we should do that today because it's fresh in my mind. I thought about it this morning.
Okay.
So, and then I'd like to play video games too. Apparently Iggy does also because she says video games. We could go play video games right now.
That's the only way I'll be a part of it. I have to leave it too.
Well, we could, and then just come back tomorrow. Oh wait. We have other episodes to do this week. I have that guy coming in Friday. We also what?
We're not gonna have the kids next week.
That's true. We have nothing on the schedule for tomorrow.
Okay.
So we could go play video games, hang out, and then record that tomorrow. That gives me time to make bullet points.
I'm down to do that. This is the only day therapy has free, so.
Oh, good call.
Let's get it.
Good call. Jenny is encouraging easing into the work. Real quick, Heather said, "What are your thoughts on money in a marriage? His account, her account, or all our money? It's our money."
Yes.
It is not your money. It is not her money. It is our money. If you are living your life separate, why get married?
Yes.
This shit is us to the end of the world, no matter what. We are one flesh, one everything.
Yeah. Yep.
That being said, guys, hope you enjoyed the show today. For those of you who are a member of our Patreon, oh, no, sir. Startled the shit out of me.
Oh, me too. He was trying to get up. His feet were pressed up against the wall.
Gotcha. For those of you who are in our Patreon, we'll be playing video games here in a little bit. And if you have not subscribed to our Patreon yet, you should. And then we'll be live tomorrow on Patreon for the singles episode, which won't air until fucking May. Because we're recording into May now.
Wow.
So with that being said, guys, remember you're the author of your own life.
So grab a pen.
And we will see you on the next one.
I'm going to see some of you guys on Call of Duty.
Oh, get them. Gonna murk them.